Hello, everyone, and welcome to part one of our series, I Love My Church. And I'm actually sitting in the home of Anthony and Brittany Longshore, and they're going to share a little bit about their story and their journey thus far. So thanks for being a part. Thanks for joining us. But thank you guys for having me and allowing us to come in and hear a little bit about your story. First off, tell me, how did you guys hear about Turning Point?
Well, we had a friend that attended the church, and I know that she had seen some Facebook Live broadcasts.
Okay.
And I remember one time she had shown me the worship part of the service, and I remember that I really liked it, and it was, I don't know, it was really appealing.
So it was my birthday that, it was first Wednesday, and I was like, he's like, what do you want to do for your birthday? And I was like, I want to go to Turning Point.
Oh, wow.
So
I was not a fan of that, by the way.
Okay.
I figured, your birthday happens only, once a year.
Yeah.
We can go to First Wednesday like so many times.
Yeah.
in the year,
Wow.
but
How about that?
God kind of reeled us in off of that.
So your first visit was a first Wednesday.
Yeah.
So you just jumped
Yeah.
right in.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah. That's awesome. So let me ask you this: when you came to Turning Point, I know you'd mentioned a little bit about what it was that drew you in. What was it? Do you think, if you could say, what was it that kind of brought you back?
I think it was really, the presence of God that we felt. And I remember specifically, like during the first Wednesday, I was like, what are you doing? It was like, I felt like it was like a pull into a new direction in our life and a new season.
Well, I thought it was funny when we came to First Wednesday, the music that they were playing, he's really into electronic dance music.
Okay.
And so we came in and like, it was already upset that we were coming to church for my birthday. And we go in and I'm like, yes, this is exactly what he's
This is what she
into.
wanted.
And the worship was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like I kept looking over at Anthony because he's a musician and he looks at that kind of stuff. And I was like, I know this is right down his alley. This is exactly what he loves.
That's awesome.
So I knew we'd be back.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So tell me, let's talk a little bit about maybe share some of the things that God's done in you since coming. What's happened perhaps in your own life, maybe your marriage or your family, your kids. What have you seen God do through Turning Point Church?
Before coming to Turning Point, God was kind of already setting the stage in my life, in business and my job. I was starting to focus a little bit more on leadership, more than ever in my life, and what it takes, like studying the greats in whatever it may be. Start following, certain people on social media, started listening to podcasts, started really diving into what leadership is, and really started finding out that it's, instead of focusing on other people, like turning on myself. It was crazy because that framework that was being set up, I was already waking up like early in the morning and had this desire to do that and putting God first. And then we started going to Turning Point after her birthday, and you were like, the first message was goals, and you were like, everything that was coming out of your mouth was what I had been learning and had been hearing for months before that.
Really?
And it was so crazy. And I was like, it was like confirmation for me that, okay, I get it, God.
Gotcha.
I get it.
What about you? Talk a little bit about what's happened in your life, if you could just share a little bit about that.
Coming to Turning Point, it was like, really for myself, it was a turning point in my life. I've battled with depression. I've battled with anxiety after our fourth child, I was diagnosed with postpartum psychosis. And it's just the mental battle that had on me. I got on medication for a little bit, and then, I got off, and I feel like coming to Turning Point has been like my dose of medication. Like, I've learned to get into the Word. Like, I come to church, like, just leaving hungry. And it's like, I told him, like, just the messages are so practical. And it's like, I can take that home, I can apply it. And like, just the change I've seen in our family, I've seen in our children, I've seen in myself, I've seen in my husband, like, it's like you can't replace that.
So when it comes to being a part of Turning Point and that family of choice, I think I heard you talk about leadership, and you've said you've been really inspired, and it's like God's refreshed you in your home and in your family. Has it made a difference at all in your children? I mean, you said you have 4 children, and have you seen any results or any feedback from them at all, from coming to church at all? Or
it was for 21 days of prayer. We brought our kids, and it was, in the beginning, we were both thinking, like, how in the world are we going to do this? Like, the very first morning of prayer, our kids are fighting, dragging out of bed, and I looked at him and I'm like, day 1. Like, we have 20 more days of this. And it was like just going to prayer, like, oh my gosh, how are we going to do this for 21 days? And it was like, just like what our kids got from that. I don't think we really expected them to get what they did out of prayer. And our 9-year-old took it upon himself to start reading the Bible to the kids before bedtime. They went around, had their little prayers, and he's like, we're going to do this for 21 days. And it was just amazing to see, like, okay,
that is incredible.
They see us doing this in the morning, then he takes initiative to do it at night.
Isn't that amazing? Man,
it was just, it was
awesome.
really cool to see that.
When you think about maybe your time at Turning Point, have you guys had a chance to maybe invite other people, and have you seen anybody else come?
I had several friends come to the women's conference, and they absolutely loved it. And then I had another friend who, her and her family were looking for another church home, and they came to Turning Point. I saw them again a couple weeks after that, and just recently they went through next steps.
Wow.
Finished all of them.
Come on.
My girlfriend, her daughter got baptized. She said she's been waiting for that forever. And then her husband got plugged in to one of the teams at the church. So I've definitely seen God moving.
Sure.
Not only in our family, but in the lives of my friends as well. And it's like, I'm constantly posting every live feed that Turning Point has. I'm sharing it on my page. I'm like, y'all just don't understand like what's going on here.
Sure.
And I had a friend tell me, like, they found out we were going to Turning Point, and he made the comment, oh, don't drink the Kool-Aid. And and that's a statement that has really stuck with me, because it's like, when you come to Turning Point and you experience what you experience there, it's like the presence of God is so thick, so strong. I mean, even on Sunday mornings before service even starts, I'll go into prayer, and it's like you get to the point where you can't even breathe or talk, just because the presence is like just so thick. And it's like, people are missing out on this. Like, why would you not want to be in this? And so, I have no problem inviting people.
Out of any church that I've ever attended, it's definitely the most inviting. And I would definitely say that I'm proud of Turning Point.
Incredible. Well, thank you guys so much for sharing your story and letting us hear some of your journey. We're incredibly honored and proud of you, and to be able to do life with you guys, to be a part of our family of choice, and that God crossed our paths together. And we believe we're going to continue to make an eternal difference in the lives of people. So, thank you guys. Awesome.